Hey folks, we are back for round 3, and we hope you like Jund.
Because we are back.
Yeah, that's all we know how to put on camera here. Okay, so turn 1, bolt the Hedron Crab. You kind of have to. Hedron Crab is basically the only reason to play Blue-Black Mill. It's like by far the best.
Glimpse the Unthinkable.
Usually
Mind
Crab.
Funeral.
Usually Crab. Mind Funeral is not good.
All
Mind
right.
Funeral is one of the worst cards in the deck.
Okay.
It's 3 mana, and usually it's inconsistent. Sometimes it mills 4 cards, sometimes it mills 10. But
What if you're playing against your Belcher opponent?
against the Belcher opponent? Pretty good. The mono green Belcher, sure. Yeah, that would actually be hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
turn 2 Bob. It's very shiny.
Yeah, that seems good.
But Hedron Crab is a hell of a card.
So I want to say Corrupt Fetus, great name. Nobody here is actually playing Storm tonight, evidently, so we could not bring that on camera.
Yeah, thank God. No one wants to watch Storm.
He did?
Jesus. No, he doesn't. He
Maybe
just,
he's an
avid
sadist.
Storm player. Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so
Bob got to
we've
one
got
side.
Bob, Reveal Inquisition. Yeah, Bob seems like pretty bad news for the mill player.
Yeah.
He doesn't
it
attack
helps,
the life
it helps
total
with
at
the
all.
mill, though.
It does help with the mill. This is true, but I think Farrell's going to be able to Yeah, so Farrell's going to wreck his hand. He's going to make him discard, but the next turn he's got this follow-up Inquisition and Thought. He has another Thought's in hand too.
Yeah.
Nick
does
is not going to have any
a,
cards left.
He does have an Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, but Jund can deal
Right,
with that
Jund
super
can deal
easily.
with
They got a
Ensnaring Bridge.
Replicate, Kolaghan's Command, the Hand Disruption. I'm not sure how Nick pulls himself out of this one already. I'm calling it right now.
Running Glimpse the Unthinkables. I don't even know if that would be enough.
He's able. Well, the thing is, how can he cast? How can he cast any glimpses here through this Liliana double hand disruption? Like if he could.
No, like if he just top decks 4 in a row.
If he top decks them 4 in a row. If he had
he's actually playing Esper Mill.
Okay, yeah, they play Esper usually for like some random cards like Blessed Alliance, Stony Silence,
Path.
and Path. Path is actually nice because it helps you mill your opponent more easily. You pull a land
Get
out
that
of their
land
deck.
out. There you go. That's one more card.
And Lingering Souls is pretty big too.
Every card counts,
That's right. Every card counts. That means you and me.
So is it weird for Mill not to have a play on turn 2?
Yes. Usually you'd want to play like a Mesmeric Orb or a Glimpse of the Unthinkable or something like that.
Well, I have a great story to tell you about a Mesmeric Orb. That I'll say when we're off the air, but it's great.
Okay. Well, you tell it on the air. Tell it when we should be talking about sideboarding, because God knows we don't care about how they sideboard for this matchup.
We'll save that one. So he did get an Ensnaring Bridge down, but of
discards.
course, yeah, like you said, Kolaghan's Command will.
Yeah, I don't think Mike is really afraid of this.
There was the glimpse. Well,
There's the glimpse.
There goes one of them.
So Nick is on Ensnaring Bridge, land. How do we feel about the odds here? Yeah, Mike can still get in for 2 under that bridge.
Man, this could be so brutal if like Liliana ultimates, Nick keeps the bridge, and then Farrell just has the Kolaghan's Command to blow it up.
Right.
Ooh. That would be unpleasant.
Yeah.
You got to develop this Ghost Quarter so it doesn't get taken out of your hand by Lily. You need it to kill potential Raging Ravine, I guess, if it comes to that. No, we didn't play that. We got the second. Well, that's actually good.
So that's okay. I'm still not worried
Now
for
the
Mike
pulse,
here,
yeah.
especially with the Bob in play. Though it is possible Mike
dies to Bob.
Yeah, well, he's gonna remove his own Bob if it gets to that, but he might end up removing it. So
yeah. We did see somebody die to Bob last round. It's definitely possible.
We did. Yeah, revealed Goyf and then Chandra.
Yeah. It seems weird to me not to play the Ghost Quarter. I have to imagine Ghost Quarter is more relevant than another colored source.
Well, maybe Nick wants to thin his own deck out so we can have the alternate win con of Mill Myself, Lab
Maniac. Maybe he has a Verdict and he needs a second white. I guess that could be possible.
I don't think you'd play Verdict's main board, but I guess that could be. So another Bob.
Bob revealed a
don't want to
Goyf.
cast that.
Away goes Ghost Quarter. Away goes
Yeah,
Bob.
so I think Mike is gonna give him probably. Do you either give him all lands in one bridge or both bridges in the lands? I think you just sort of force him to get rid of one.
I guess it depends on what your odds are. I don't know how many Kolaghan's Commands or pulses he has.
Yeah, I think what you do is you give him each pile is like 2 lands bridge.
Yeah.
Right. That way you get one bridge off the table. That's my guess of what you should do. But
Farrell probably only has like 1 Maelstrom Pulse, if any.
Yeah, I don't think you consider the Maelstrom Pulse as a fact. I think you're really just hoping for the Abrupt Decay or Kolaghan's Command, but you want to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say give him like 2 lands and a bridge in each pile.
Draw.
That is if Nick doesn't Detention Sphere this Lily right now.
Yeah, I mean that's how. It's about his only out. Just passing the turn. Okay. It's a little weird.
Well, I assume that's something bogus in his hand.
Sure. Maybe it's a disallow? Oof, not quite.
Oh, you know what it probably is? It's probably an archive trap, right? He's waiting for Farrell to search, but Farrell's probably smart enough not to search.
Yeah. So we are keeping the bridges, not the lands.
That doesn't seem right to me, but I suppose that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true that Nick can't cast anything now, but
oh, if he fetches the land, he could hit the archive trap. I mean, you can't cast archive trap with no mana.
The problem with the mill here is it's actually very possible that
no, it was a land. That was actually probably pretty good on Nick's end, right? To keep a land in hand there so it doesn't get lost to Lily.
I'm not sure why Mike's fetching. He believes himself vulnerable to archive trap, and he's taking another card out of his deck, right? I mean, yeah. I know it makes it somewhat more likely that he draws Abrupt Decay.
Sure.
But at this point, what you want to be worried about is...
he's going to sleight of hand one to the top.
Oh, good. Shuffle. Yeah, he's doing the Dutch shuffle. No, what I'm worried about here is that Nick resolves like one mill spell.
Oh, no cut.
No cut? Well, the Dutch shuffle cheat's going to work here. Mike is just going to rip that Kolaghan's command he put on the top. I was going to say...
Nope, it was
just a swamp.
Guru swamp, no less.
Yeah. So I was going to say that you have to worry about, if you're Mike, if Nick just resolves like one Glimpse the Unthinkable, and it happens that you flip...
You hit your Maelstrom Pulse
and
the Abrupt Decay or something?
You hit your Abrupt Decay and your Kolaghan. Like, that's really bad for you. That's why I would have been... I think it's really better to have taken...
got the second land.
Sure.
What is that Magos? What is that land?
Yeah, Magosa.
The Water Veil?
No, that's not. No, that's
not the one that lets you take an extra turn.
That's a is that a Minimo? No, it's not. That's not a
Oboro?
No, I don't think that's an Oboro.
What could it be? Oh, well, here's the way Farrell can win the game. Grim Lava Man.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
that
there we
seems
go.
Fine. Yeah.
He did actually have the Kolaghan's command there to take out one of the bridges, but
sure.
Nick has to remove this as soon as he can. We got a Fraying Sanity. We do have something to cast here. Is this mill 6?
Yeah, that's breaking and entering. I think it's mill 8.
Oh, okay. There's an Abrupt Decay. Yeah, but this Lava Man's going to put the game away kind of fast.
So, interestingly, I guess I could see an argument for what Mike did with the Liliana Ultimate. If Nick can't cast spells he draws, then he builds up hands and Mike can swing into the bridge.
Oh, that's also true, yeah.
But I still think that it's more important for you to just automatically... You know, like the Lily Ult counts as a removal spell for at least one bridge, so I still think it's probably right to go bridge lands and bridge lands.
Yeah.
But Grim Lavamancer's pretty dope here.
Yeah.
We might see Mike Grim Lavamancer his own Bob, though. Well, he's got a Fatal Push, right?
Yeah, he's got a Fatal Push. Nick needs a Fatal Push to take out Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, seriously.
Let me do something. Another breaking.
Another breaking, entering.
And there's a Maelstrom Pulse. So that's 1 Decay, 1 Kolaghan's, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, I think, in the yard.
Yeah. He probably has 1 or 2. He probably has just 2 decays in the main board, so there might only be 1 decay left.
Yeah. And there's always the chance that he reveals a 9 mana spell. No.
It could happen. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is a lot of breaking. Or is it entering? What half we're casting?
Yeah, I think breaking is the mill.
Okay.
Because it's like breaking your mind.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then entering is you put a guy into play.
So down goes Bob, and that might have been a consideration not of life total, but of drawing too many cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the okay? Not the 4th breaking and entering. So
this
Nick
is actually a really close
falls
game.
To 4, yeah.
It wouldn't have been close if Mike had just done the play I meant. Nah, it's not like you could know. I mean, for one, Nick could have drawn another bridge or something like that, and that would make the play that I suggested bad. But if Mike had made Liliana kill one of the bridges, then his removal spell on the one bridge would have meant 0 bridges right now.
So Nick has a Fraying Sanity here. Yeah, going to 5 versus being at... Wait, did he just... Oh, man.
What?
He just fetched a 4. He's just dead.
To...
Lava Man.
Oh, to double... Yeah, to on your end step and then do it again.
Yeah, man, that had to have been a mistake.
Yeah, sure.
There's no... Like, he wanted to get the Fraying Sanity down, but there's no way that going to an extra Lava Man activation was... Yeah, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think he
just realized it.
Yeah, I think he was thinking that I have 2 turns, but you really just have 1 turn cycle there because it's the end. He'll activate at the end of your turn.
Yeah, I think you realize his mistake there.
All right,
well, that was actually pretty close.
So I have an idea. Let's not talk about sideboarding. Instead, you tell your Mesmeric Orb story.
Okay. So I was playing a game of Commander.
Okay.
And across the table is an Una Queen of the Fae mill deck.
That card's
Right.
great. Yep.
My opener has Labman in it.
Okay.
I know I'm like, this is how I'm winning this game.
Yeah.
So the entire game,
Wait a minute. Stop 1 sec. Can we get Mesmeric Orb on the screen
Oh, yeah,
for
that's
folks,
relevant, yeah.
just so that we
It
all
is
have a
relevant to
great
know.
reference point for
Yeah.
this story.
So my opponent plays a Mesmeric Orb like on
Yep,
turn 2.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, well, this is going to do a lot of milling, whatever. I get milled a ton. It's actually a 4-player game, so like a bunch of stuff happens. Like I'm playing a regular game. I'm on my blue-red Ludovic and Crown deck. So I know I'm winning with his Labman. I get down to about like 16 cards or something. I'm like, all right, I need to play it this turn or else I might just lose, right? So I get it out. My other opponent was on like the other guy in the game was on like Rakdos and didn't have he had like mana troubles like terribly, so he was just like casting like 1 demon a turn really, so I didn't really have to worry about him like removing it or anything. And so I get this Labman out, and then I perfectly manipulate how many lands I tap so that the Mesmeric Orb mills me to exactly 0. I attack with Labman to deal damage, and I have Ludovic in play, so at my end step I draw a card because another player took damage
Because of
in the
Ludovic,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. That's
Yeah.
that's not bad.
It was like literally from my opening hand, I'm like, I'm winning this game with Labman.
I was honestly, yeah, I'll be totally honest, Mario. I thought that story was gonna end with you losing in a terribly unfortunate, against all odds way where you should have won but you lost, and I was much more excited for that story
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
than the one
I'm sorry to
about than the one
disappoint.
about where you win. But anyway, sideboarding here, Mike probably
Ancient Grudge.
yeah, Ancient Grudge is great. It gets milled, takes out bridge, easy money.
You bring in your Emrakul, so it shuffles your library back
Bring in your Emrakul, yeah. Yeah, Niall Spellbomb seems okay.
Nick did not have the Adhesion crap here.
Yeah, so Justin said something interesting, our stream runner. He said that Mike could play this Niall Spellbomb to hit his own graveyard, possibly in response to surgical extraction. I'm not sure how relevant that is.
That thing that gains Nick a bunch of life.
Crypt Incursion. Yeah, but the thing is, this is not really a matchup where you even want Crypt Incursion.
Right,
because
there's
only
not that many creatures.
Yeah, Mike only has like 14, 15 creatures in the deck. The absolute maximum amount of life you could gain would be 45, but you're not. You're going to gain more like,
right.
Probably 12.
9, yeah, 12.
And that just doesn't seem worthwhile. So I don't know. I suppose Mike has stuff to take. He took out all the removal, so Niall Spellbomb has some utility over the dead removal spells.
Main phase, Visions of Beyond. Oh, that was his instant. I'm sorry. Definitely, yeah, because right.
Yeah, card's an instant. Pretty sweet card.
Yeah.
Also great Therese Nielsen art on that thing.
Yeah, it's a good one. It looks like Nick has another one.
It feels bad to use those early in the middle
Right, 'cause
deck.
you really want to draw 3, but
yeah,
sometimes you got to do it. So Farrell did draw a Bolt. Of course, it's another way he can close the game through Ensnaring Bridge.
Sure.
Yep, there got another Visions.
Easy money.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, Spellbomb is good against Visions, right? Can cut it off that way.
Yeah, keeps him from drawing 3 cards. That seems good.
It's a Ghost Quarter, and here is Fraying Sanity.
So this is a pretty good start for Nick.
Yeah.
Mike's going to fire off a bolt to the face. He's trying to get there. I say you run out the Bob and then bolt him at end of turn again.
Yeah. Right. Farrell does have to be conscious of when he plays his spells because he wants to play them on actual end steps. Okay, well, now he doesn't because he has Abrupt Decay for the Fraying Sanity.
Yep.
But since Fraying Sanity triggers upon end step, if you cast spells after the trigger resolves, you don't have to worry about milling an additional card.
Right. I actually had not thought about that interaction at all, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's an end step thing. And
the reason I played against Mill like a few times in Standard.
Oh, okay. I saw the deck come up in Standard. It's interesting.
Playing a almost exclusively instant deck, I always knew like, okay, I'll wait for the trigger to resolve and then play.
Right. And that's because Fraying Sanity counts any card that enters your graveyard, not just cards milled from the top of your library.
Yeah. He does have Surgicals as well, and I think that is a Crypt Incursion in his hand.
In Nick's hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes another Bolt.
Yeah, the Crypt Incursion's going to be good if he can. But the thing is, if Mike, do you think Mike knows? So yeah, so Mike is tapped out now. Or excuse me, tapped out now. But if Nick fires off the Crypt Incursion while Mike is tapped out, I mean, how many creatures are actually in there right now?
Yeah, I don't know if there's too many.
I get a feeling the answer is like 2. Like 3 mana gain 6 life is like a bad
One.
Pulse of
I saw one there. I saw just the scoos.
So he has to wait on it, but with the Spellbomb in play, I doubt Mike's going to tap out again.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to keep the
So
lands
it looks like
coming
Nick
with his
does have an
Bob.
Archive Trap. He's got a Mind Funeral. He's got a Fatal Push.
Yeah, so Nick is reading. I think Nick is worried about his Crypt Incursion being nullified.
Or his Surgical. He also has Surgical.
Yeah. I don't think Surgical is worth bringing in this matchup. It doesn't really do anything. You can hit Ancient Grudge, but your opponent has all kinds. Surgical is one of the most overboarded cards. I know we talk about that a lot,
yeah.
but
like recently when my opponent boarded it in against an Eldrazi deck.
Yeah, there's no reason to bring in Surgical against the Jund deck. There's no single card that's doing anything game-breaking that they don't have other cards that do the same thing.
Right.
If you hit Tarmogoyf, they'll kill you with other creatures.
Yeah.
If you hit Abrupt Decay, they'll hit your artifact with Kolaghan's Command and Maelstrom Pulse. You know, if you hit Liliana, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. So
there's no good surgical target.
Yeah, that Mind Funeral was not very good. It only hit about 5 cards, I think, maybe 6.
Yeah, Mind Funeral's pretty bad.
HG, I don't think we have a list of this player's exact deck. Players do submit their list to us if they want to, but I think this is a new one for Nick, so not sure we have that list yet. Sorry about that.
Well, as we see, Nick actually brought in the Surgical Extraction so he could have a card to discard to Liliana.
Of course,
So.
yeah. I don't know for a second. Bob reveals Bob, as Bob is wont to do. And here's a Thoughtseize. Yeah, Nick is running out of cards here.
Yeah.
I guess you just Fatal Push these guys or Fatal Push Bob before. I guess you can Fatal Push and Crypt Incursion. No, here's what Nick should do. He should Ghost Quarter Farrell. He has an Archive Trap in hand, right? So he probably should Ghost Quarter Farrell. See if he searches so he can Archive Trap. No, we're just going to cast the Crypt Incursion.
I think this matchup might be the hardest possible matchup to play for Mill.
Yeah.
Fraying Insanity gets Abrupt Decay. Ensnaring Bridge gets Abrupt Decay, Maelstrom Pulse, Kolaghan's Command, Ancient Grudge.
Yeah, so the graveyard got exiled there by that. So Archive Trap hitting the bin, and now Nick is forced to face down this Lily.
I can't think of a worse matchup for Mill than Jund.
Battle of Wits.
Well, the thing about that's actually not really true. The thing about Battle of Wits is that deck could be so clunky. Battle of Wits, you know, you can eat that shit up really quick with Fraying Sanity.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, with Fraying Sanity for sure, but Nahiri control, yeah, with Emrakul's it's hard, but you can always Surgical the Emrakul's.
Yeah, I think Jund might be Nick's worst matchup. That's my guess.
Especially like a pre-sideboard matchup. He just has answers to everything you're doing already. Like
right. Yeah. That's where Abrupt Decay really shines. Is just picking off these rogue sort of gimmick decks.
Oh, someone in chat plays Esper Mill, and says that Nahiri control is the worst. Dredge is so much worse.
So I believe that Nahiri control's bad, but like you said, Mario, you can Surgical the Emrakul. I mean.
So yeah. So Dredge is kind of like a double-sided thing, right? Like obviously if they just get all their creatures out immediately, you lose. But if you get an Ensnaring Bridge down, like
not only that, but to get their guys out, they have to for them to swarm the board, they have to mill themselves 20. That's
right.
sort of, against a burn player, that would be like, well, I can put a bunch of guys out, yeah, but you take 10 damage, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah, Nick not able to get any more mill action going in with all of his important cards taken away.
Also, Dredge
that one quickly.
In the Dredge matchup, these mill players play like 4 Leyline of the Void. I mean, Dredge actually, I think Mill destroys Dredge in a match. You Leyline of the Void them, they do not. I mean, every mill player is playing 3 or 4 Leyline of the Void.
Sure.
So this matchup seems
really
good.
So you
Dredge.
can theoretically accelerate your Dredge opponent a bit, but like you have ways to control it. If you get an Ensnaring Bridge down, right, you win game 1. Like they don't have Nature's Claim main.
But I'm being serious though. If a Dredge player starts to they Cathartic Reunion and Dredge a Stinkweed Imp 3 times on turn 2.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
They milled themselves 15. If you just go Glimpse, if you go
for sure,
you just you can mill them out with like 2 spells if they Dredge 25 cards. So I don't know. The Dredge seems like an easy matchup for Mill, actually.
All right, well, that was a pretty quick one, only about half hour, so we'll try to find another game here to fill in the time. We'll see if we can catch any game in sideboard, so we'll be back in a few minutes with that, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be right back. I think Nick is actually telling Mike right now how hard the Jund matchup is. Anyway, we will be back momentarily, hopefully.